Okay, here was another exciting night at the Brass Horn in pre-handkerchiefs days. To give you a little background, across the street from where Martino's is now, there was a house that was owned by a guy that was in the hot dog business. We called him Hot Dog Rick. He had a hot dog truck, but he also used to rent rooms in his house out to, rent rooms out to single guys or whatever that needed a place to stay, and that was extra money for him. Anyway, there was a guy that worked at the Mount Kisco Country Club. He was Mexican, and his name was Marty. And he was just like Pepino and the real McCoys. He was that kind of guy. And he'd come in all the time. He was the perfect. He was the assistant chef or the second chef at the Kisco Country Club. But he would come in a lot, and have a beer. And he was just always a pleasant guy and a pleasure to have. And he'd go, Hank, you're my friend, Hank. You're my friend, Hank. You're the best. You're the best. That's the kind of guy he was. Except for one night, he came in and he wasn't drinking beer. When he got there, he ordered scotch, and he must have had scotch before because he was a different kind of man when he was on scotch. And so I had my eye on him because he was being rude and crude and coming on to women he shouldn't have been coming on to anyway. For as nice as a guy as he was, I had to throw him out. So Marty, you got to go. You're out of control tonight. Now, keep in mind, this guy didn't drive, but he lived in Hot Dog Vic's house. So everything was in walking distance of the Brass Horn. He could walk to the club from Vic's in the morning to work and then, stop by our place on his walk home. So he did not want to go, but, I convinced him it was time for him to go. And it was snowing. It was a snowy night. So begrudgingly, he left and he yelling, I'm going to get you, Hank. I'm going to get you. I said, what happened to I was the greatest guy? He said, no, I'm going to get you, Hank. I'm going to get you, Hank. So he leaves, finally. I got a full bar, a couple tables are in there. About 45 minutes later, I get a call, and I answer the phone, Brass Horn, and the voice on the other end goes, Hank, this is Rick. Hot Dog Vic's calling me. He says, did you just throw Marty out up there? I says, yeah, Vic. I says he was out of control. He was drinking stuff he shouldn't have been drinking, and he was a menace. So I asked him to leave, and I threw him out. He says, well, he came home. Hanky got a shotgun, and he held a shotgun on me to give him the keys to my car. And he said he's going to go up to the Brass Horn, and he's going to kill everybody up in the Brass Horn. And as he's telling me this, I hear a big explosion. And Vic says, Jesus Christ, Hank, he just shot one off in the driveway. He fired one up into the sky. I said, okay, I got to go. So I didn't know what to do first, whether to tell people to get out or call the cops. So I called the cops. And then I turned the jukebox down. I got everybody's attention. And I said, hey, everybody, that crazy Mexican I just threw out here, he's got a shotgun. He's coming back and he's going to kill us all. So with that news, all my loyal customers said, quick, Hank, give me another beer. We don't want to miss this. That's the truth. Nobody left. The cops hit that place like a SWAT team. There was Kisco cops, Bedford cops, cops in the bowling alleys across the street, cops in the shopping center parking lot where the Brass Horn was, and the cop cars came in spinning around with the lights on, and because of the snow, they were spinning, and everything, it was a mess. And they came in. The cops came in. In the meantime, what we didn't know was Marty did take Vic's car. And because he doesn't drive, he didn't know what the hell he was doing. There's a little bit of an incline going up by what was Ho Yen's, now it's Lexington Square. He got stuck in a little bit of snow going up there. And that being stuck in the snow there was just enough time for the Kisco cops to grab him right there on the spot and pull him out. And sure enough, he had a gun. And so they took him down to the station. So meanwhile, up at the restaurant, it's like, it's like crazy up there. The cops are running all over the place and lights flashing in the parking lot. And remember, there was 3 or 4 stores there. Plus, there was the big Dates Shopwell supermarket. Anyway, we finally got the news that they got Marty in custody, and so the threat was gone of all of us getting killed. So the place calmed down quite a bit, and the cops were making their way to close out this unfortunate chapter. All of a sudden, when almost all the cops are gone, this one Bedford cop who I knew, his name was Bill Jones, tall guy, tall, skinny guy. He comes in and he says, Hank, a guy just left here in a three-piece suit with his tie undone and curly red hair. You know who it is? I said, yeah, it's Timmy Murphy. Everybody knows Timmy Murphy. He's, I don't know Timmy Murphy. I says, he works at Burns. He's a car salesman. He sells more cars than anybody. He says, well, your car salesman friend just jumped in my cop car and drove it to Armont. So I said, what the hell are you talking about? What had happened was Timmy Murphy, who was probably overserved, he walked out looking to get into his car and go home after all the excitement. There was a cop car blocking his car, so he couldn't get out, but the cop car was running. And the door was open, because that's the way the cops came in. So he got in the car, and he moved it for some reason. Timmy Murphy moved that car around the back of Date's shop wall to hide it from the cops, as I guess as a joke. In the meantime, the cops saw Timmy drive it around that direction, and from where the cop was standing, it looked like he drove it down 128 to Armont. So that was a funny scene. Timmy Murphy drove your car to Armont. But that was a scary night. But luckily we made it out all right. And Marty was gone forever after that.